KSFR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and joining me today from Santino Brothers is the one, the only, Tyler Bateman. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay.
As this moth is coming to attack you.
Yeah, I mean, I probably had it coming, honestly. If I didn't do something to this moth, I've definitely done something to another one.
Yeah.
Coming for revenge.
Yeah, for sure. Man, you have such a long weekend planned for you. Today you had Santino Brothers, tomorrow it's Prestige, Sunday is New Japan. Mm-hmm. I mean, how do you feel knowing that you're going to have to work 3 different crowds this weekend?
Exhausted and anxious in advance. But determined. There's no other way to get around it. You just got to go through. So
yeah,
that's how I'll end up on the other side, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure, man. Dude, to be honest with you, I almost didn't want to interview you just because
the face and personality. I get it. I'm on your side, man.
I go to a bunch of shows. I see you at a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
And it's so real when I see it. Say what you want about wrestling. When I walk past you, I'm like, don't fuck with that guy, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, good. Then it's working.
I didn't want to. Yeah. So it was very. I wanted to keep it. So I wanted to say, like, how did you put the character together? I know it's just you, but it's a little bit of, to me, a little bit of Bill the Butcher,
mm-hmm.
American Psycho, mm-hmm. Carnival Barker, almost. Book of Eli, steampunk.
It was a long road. When I started in 2001, I was generic crazy guy in ripped up jeans and like a comic book t-shirt and then a jacket one of my friends gave me from a thrift store, and then became a tights and track jacket guy because it was the early 2000s and that was a thing to do on the indies. And then I transitioned to being a trunks and kick pads guy, which again, that was a thing to do on the indies at the time. And then when I first started working for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, I was doing the same. Trunks, had the denim vest with the pins and stuff. Of course, I had a bleached spot in my hair because, once again, it was the indies at the time, and of course I did. And I got there and someone was like, do you have any, like, not that they were like, fuck this, but they were like, do you have anything else? I was like, well, and I had already started to like put together an idea in my head to try to transition into like 3/4 length tights, waist sash, top hat, long black coat, a little Bill the Butcher, a little old school, like a mucker, a little old, like the athletic show challenge sort of deal. And then I'm also a big, this might not shock you if you ever pay attention to the shirts I wear in the ring, big true crime guy. And so I found a way, it's like, well, how do I marry the stuff that I did before to the stuff that I'm doing now? And then this is what came out in the wash. So you're not wrong, a little bit of Bill the Butcher, a little bit of Patrick Bateman, a little bit of Tyler Durden, if we never put that together, guys. When you started it in the early 2000s and it would, like, someone's like, you need a name that sort of sounds like a name. Well, what are my 2 favorite movies right now? I'm 18. It's 2000, 2001. Definitely Fight Club and American Psycho. And Tyler Bateman sounds a damn sight better than Patrick Durden. My dad a little bit. And then just a big helping of like true crime dust and a big helping of like pro wrestling dust. Just mixed all that up, and like I said, this is what ended up coming out in the wash, for better or worse.
I love it, man. I think it's fucking really crazy. I think it's, I like the stuff that you put out there. You have such an aggressive style. It's methodical. Mm-hmm. It's definitely you. But who do you think influenced your style, or who did you try and think, man, that is what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm going for.
So, especially very recently, I've watched a whole lot of Tenryu. Love Tenryu. Tenryu might be my favorite, but I've watched a lot of Tenryu, a lot of Finlay recently. I love Takeshita as well. I watch a lot of Takeshita stuff. Yeah, off the top of my head, those are the 3 that, at least recently, that I've watched the most of. But like, big Jake Roberts guy, big Arn Anderson guy, Raven. I had to think about guys who did the DDT, apparently. I loved Jake, I loved Arn, loved Raven, because they could all talk, and they could all do things. They did a lot with not a lot, if that makes sense. They all were, let's politely say, economical with their wrestling style, but you never really questioned it. Like at least I, especially when I was younger, I believed everything they did. It sort of applies to Tenryu too in a pro wrest way. You knew what you were going to get. The punches, chops, the face kicks, the brainbuster, powerbomb, enziguri, and then Finley's once again along those same lines, like a grinder. It may not be. I always describe my wrestling style as smash over flash.
Ooh.
I'm not very flashy, but it's going to be and it's probably going to be simple, but it's going to be effective.
I like that, man. That's very true to form, you know.
Yeah.
It definitely fits the character. It fits you. It's who you are. You're actually currently the Ring of Honor 6-man champion. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's still the belt's still in the belt.
Oh, you still rocking the belt?
Yeah.
So what was that? What was that like to become the champion for you? What did that mean to you?
I mean, it was a really.
Because it's you, Vincent, and Dutch, correct?
Yes, it was a really cool moment. The bummer part was that was, as far as we know anyway, at this rate currently, that was the final battle. We'll see. You know, we'll see what Tony does with it. We'll see if he keeps some of the names and whatnot. But like it was, we didn't know what was going on. We all knew we'd all already got the bad news that it's like, oh hey guys, we're gonna at least shut down for the first quarter of the year, and they did the switch, which was a cool feeling. It was a great moment for us because we had been working toward something like that. Unfortunately, I had to kind of just jump to that. It was also a great moment for Vincent because he was also one of the first 6-man title holders, and then, at least on paper for now, the last. So, and yeah, he still got the belt. Like we all had him, and I've told everyone that when I show, if I have
that out,
they say when I have it, the people will be like, "You still have that?" I was like, "Yeah." I was waiting for literally anyone with the company to come by and be like, "Hey man, we need that," and I would be like, "Cool."
Yeah.
Because traveling with the belt, it made my bag heavier, and just another thing to pack.
I'm a traveling champion.
Yeah, literally at that point.
Yeah, and also in New Japan Pro Wrestling, dude. I mean, like I said, you're Ring of Honor. You're New Japan. You're part of your Stray Dog Army. What does it mean to you to be a part of that? You know, or to be that? To be a part of the New Japan Strong roster is it literally feels like an accomplishment. It feels like a box checked. Whatever anyone's feelings and opinions are about New Japan Strong, I work for New Japan on a regular basis, a fairly regular basis. So I've created a unit there, and I said we're trying to move forward. It's really cool. It's something that if you told 2001 me that, I would have called you a liar. So that's a cool moment to have. That's a badass moment. I mean, you were telling me who some of your favorite wrestlers and influencers are, and then for you to now tell me that you're in New Japan and got your faction there, that's a badass fucking accomplishment.
Oh, I agree. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's very cool. You've been in the ring with some of the craziest people, in Southern California or around the world. Period. I mean, you've had matches with Killer Cross. You've been in matches with Brian Cage, Brody King. Who are some of your favorite opponents?
Well, Brody King and I have done crimes to each other. I'm fairly certain. I think the statute of limitations has passed, but we have done terrible things to each other. Brody King, for sure. Andy Brown, before he moved. We had just started teaming before I got the Ring of Honor job and couldn't do that anymore. But we were great. I felt we were great against each other. We were good together. I'm trying to think more often. I know I was able to share a ring with Tanahashi in a 6-man tag, and that's cool. I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but it happened once, and he's the ace for a reason. Yeah. So that's just once again, it's another one of those, and that's cool.
That's something to check off in the book of fucking badassery.
Tom Lawler was a lot of fun. So we did that at Prestige in Oregon. It was one of the final 10 matches I had before I got the Ring of Honor job. Like I said, it was. I've when I sit and think about it, I've been way more lucky than you realize sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some great matches, man. Who would you want to have some matches with? Dream opponents. Past or present. So maybe somebody who's here, somebody who's not here.
So I'm usually not great with these, but I'd love to. Some of the guys I mentioned before. We're getting the ever living piss fuck beat out of me by Finlay and or Tenryu would have been cool just for the experience. Oh. Just to say that, like, well, hopefully I made it out the other side. You never know, but just to wonder what it's like to be run through that meat grinder. And so then there are others, like I said, basically a lot of my influences, like Jake would have been cool, Arn would have been cool. So those things can't. Barry Windham. Barry was smooth as glass. It was real amazing. And then I'm trying to think of more modern guys, because I know there are some. I was asked, so now my mind is blanking. Oh.
Okay, let me ask.
Like Moriarty would be cool. I love Lee's work is great. I'd like to Garcia would be good. Blackwood would be fun. So those are, I feel those are achievable, like sort of things.
You still haven't had a match against Kevin Blackwood?
No.
Wow.
No. I mean, technically we did. We were part of a multi-man thing, but not a single. Yeah. Not like a singles or a straight up tag, which would be great.
That's a money match right there. That's some good stuff.
Hey, maybe someone will do it. Maybe someone will do it eventually.
For sure. A smart promoter would, I think so. As someone who's, at this point of your career where things are so, things are not where they were 5 years ago. It's not just one company. There's multiple places. The landscape is opening up. You have WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan, Ring of Honor, MLW. Mm-hmm. What is that like for you to have all these places to work, or to all these options? What does that mean to you?
I mean, on one hand, it's great overall for the broader general wrestling business, because there are so many places for people to go and get work and ideally make a living. We have like Noah's taking guys over now, like Simon Grimm is over there right now. I think Anthony Green is about to. Anthony Green and is it Stallion Rogers now?
I'm a little familiar.
He was Kurt Stallion.
That name sounds more familiar.
Yeah. Anyway.
New Japan guy?
No. So they're working with Noah right now, but like Ninja Max going over there, like Dante, the flippy kid Dante. I feel bad. I'm not trying to botch him.
Martin. He's good.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
No. The indie guy, long blonde, dyed hair, real twisty guy. He's super athletic, incredibly impressive. I feel so bad.
You're fine,
I'm
brother.
blanking on the name.
I do all the time.
So, yeah, it happens a lot. But like just the fact that there are so many options. There's, like I said, apparently Noah's picking people up. New Japan. You work. If we work hard enough and strong, maybe there's the possibility of eventually crossing some of us over, which is something to hope for, something to fight for. So the AEW, Vincent's in Impact right now, so there's always a possibility of ideally there's maybe something could happen there if someone does something. But like I said, it just the fact that there are so many options, there are so many places to go is wonderful. It can be overwhelming sometimes, it can be frustrating sometimes as well, but it's a beautiful thing overall.
Yeah, and even the companies that I name, no matter even if them or not, I see you grinding out everywhere. I'm at every damn show, and you're here every fucking weekend somewhere getting it in, man. So I appreciate that. What do you have planned for the future? What do you got coming up besides the match that I have, or what do you got planned coming up for the year? I
have that on the calendar right now. At the end of the month, I'm going to be in. Vincent and I are going to be in Philly for Monster Factory. And then after that, you tell me. Reach out. Tell places. Bother people. If you want to see me somewhere, tell them. And don't be subtle. Be real direct. Be loud about it.
Where can people follow you on social media? And any shout-outs you may have.
Social media, I believe Instagram is official Tyler Bateman, or Tyler Bateman official. I should know this, right? You'd figure. and then my Twitter, because I was super edgy when I made it, was Tyler Bateman 666. Ooh. He had 3 numbers in a row that were all 6s. I don't know, man. Those are the easiest places to find me, social media wise. So follow that, I guess.
Tyler Bateman, you're a fucking badass. I love seeing you work, man. You're giving it all. You're all every weekend, and every time I see you, I love it, man. Thank you for coming on the show. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. For Tyler Bateman, I am Heartthrob Rob for Santino Brothers. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.
ASMR Coffin Radio.